Hello, I'm Colin McKay for the Music and History channel, and today I'm going to tell you a quick story about Gregg Allman that I thought was very interesting when I read it. I believe it was in an interview with Esquire magazine back in 2014. One of the things that Gregg Allman revealed is that he is in fact not deaf and not hard of hearing. And then he explained why. And he also depicted that this is an unusual situation for many of his fellow compatriots and contemporaries in the music world. He says, I'm the only one who's not deaf. And what he said was way back when the Allman Brothers started out and they met Muddy Waters. And Muddy Waters said to Gregg, you're the singer, here's some advice. Sometimes the band, the bass players, they get carried away, with their own volume, their own sounds, and they're not caring about how it all meshes in with the singing, and you gotta protect your voice. And so what Muddy said, because this is like 1970, is I take the end of a cigarette filter, unused, and just put it in one ear. That way you can hear your voice on the inside. It helps you connect with the bone in the ear, and you can hear yourself, and the band will take care of themselves and do what they do. And Gregg thought, well, that's pretty interesting advice. And hey, it's Muddy Waters, so who the hell am I to, poo-poo that? And Gregg had noticed that, the band, Brother Dwayne, Dickie, and everybody, was getting louder and louder on stage. And if you've ever noticed any pictures of the Allman Brothers, or if you ever saw them in concert, as I was blessed to see them many, many times, Gregg was always, way to the side on the stage. And the reason for that is he didn't want to be in the way of the amplifiers, the guitar amps, and he wanted to have his own Leslie speaker to the side. And since if I'm facing the audience, Gregg would be to this side of the stage and the band is over there. And so he had the earplug in his left ear. And he said this always did him well. And of course, many years later, they began making earplugs. They got all kinds of earplugs now, right? You could have just the foam ones for the construction guys. They made musician plugs, even the kind that you mold to your ear and cuts 25 decibels. And now they have the in-ear monitors. But Gregg Allman protected his hearing by sticking a cigarette filter in his ear on the advice of Muddy Waters, which many decades later, Gregg said, I'm happy that I never ruined my hearing. And, of course, there's many famous musicians that can talk about their hearing. The famous ones, Pete Townsend or Ozzy Osbourne or even Sting, who says his favorite word around the house is what. All part of the job. But Gregg thought ahead as a young man, which is sometimes not something young men are known to do. But I thought that would be an interesting tale. Gregg Allman was not deaf, thanks to Muddy Waters. So there you go. That's a story here on the Music and History channel. And just a reminder, I do give music lessons, guitar, bass, piano. Yeah, that's colinmckay.net. Check it out. And my band is Mystic Twang. And I love the Allman Brothers. Yeah. So have a great day. Thanks.